friends, and welcome to my first video. My name is Adante McCallum. I'm 24 years old. We're gonna go ahead and get started. So I decided to start this channel simply because I'm learning a lot about entrepreneurship, business, and financial literacy. And I also am very heavily involved in the fitness world as well. I'm very physically active. But I really started this channel just because everything that I'm learning about business and financial literacy, I didn't learn this, years ago when I was in high school. I'm 24 and I'm just learning this now. And I realized that a lot of people don't talk about things like this, at least people that I know. So I want to give myself, a platform where I know that these discussions happen. This is the first year that I decided that I am going to pursue being an entrepreneur full time. Yes, I still do have another job where I'm working for earned income. We'll get to that. But, this is the first year that I decided that I'm actually going to go ahead and take this serious. And, I know that I needed to start taking action, and that's what this YouTube channel is for. It's also for me to, just document the process, hold myself accountable, have other people hold me accountable as well. And, just try to build a community and see what we can accomplish together. In this video, we're going to be talking about 6 things I've recently started implementing in my own life to start my financial freedom journey. And I hope that this can help anybody along the way. So let's get started. So the first thing that I decided to start doing in 2022 is reading a lot of books. I learned that books have a lot of knowledge. Before 2022, I was never really reading for personal gain or for growth or evolution. I literally would just read text messages, workouts, different things about fitness, but never financial literacy, business, entrepreneurship, stocks, investing. I never read about any of that. And the 3 of the books that I first started reading, I started with Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert K. I switched over to, after that, I started reading You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. And the 3rd book that I read is How Successful People Think by John C. Maxwell. Also, when it comes to books, I decided to make it a goal of mine to read at least 3 books a month. So far, I'm kind of on that. I did have to take a little step back just because I am studying for a group fitness certification. So that kind of has my attention as far as reading goes. But I am still making sure that I get some reading time in, whether I'm reading 10, 15, or 20 pages a day from something unrelated of fitness. I still make sure that I get that read time in. You can learn a lot of things in books. Some of the books that turn into movies, total sidebar by the way, some of the books that often go into movies, I would hear people say, oh, I prefer to read the book. There's so much more information in the book. And I've never read a lot of those books like Twilight or Hunger Games, but the books that I'm reading now, I can believe it, in these books, these people are giving their own personal experiences. They're, giving down their own process and progress that they've made, So it's basically an autobiography. It's true. And a lot of these people are professionals or have been around professionals or they're mentors or just anything of the sort. So definitely, not if you can, because we all can, definitely read books. And when I say we all can, if buying the book, isn't for you right now, or you can't afford to buy it, or, just don't have the means to get it, you can check out the library. That's what I do. I'll go either to Barnes and Nobles to buy the book, or I'll get it from the library. By the way, if I get it from the library and it's really good, I will end up buying it just so that way I can reference back to it, But definitely start adding books to your regimen, to your habits. The second thing that I began implementing in my life is paying myself first. And I actually got that from the Rich Dad, Poor Dad author and book, Robert K. By the way, I didn't mention this last time. I just say Robert K. just because I have a really big pet peeve with pronouncing names correctly. And I just rather not mess it up at all. So no, but that was a really good book that I read. It was very, very, very informational. But the whole paying yourself first, it's crucial and it's beneficial. It might seem, scary at first or daunting or, ooh, why would I not, pay my bills first? Why would I? But, you have to pay yourself first, pay your business before you go and, pay someone else for theirs. Grow yourself, invest in yourself. So for example, one of the hobbies that I do, and I hate calling it a hobby just because I want it to be a business of mine, I guess I have to start to, switch it up up here a little bit with that. But something that I do is balloon decoration and creations for events and stuff. I'll pop it either here or here, a photo or a video. But I'm like into those. So like now what I started doing, instead of waiting until I want to create something or waiting until an event to start ordering things, I'll just go ahead, every time I get paid, I'll just go ahead and order some balloons. Whether it's a certain size, a certain color, I'll just order a pack of balloons just to let that start to just build up. That's one way that I'm investing in myself, well, paying myself first. Another way that I've been paying myself first is saving for investments. Every time I get paid, I'll go ahead and put some money aside because I know eventually I want to start to invest in index funds, maybe even mutual funds. And in order to invest, I have to have money to do that. So I just put money aside for that. I also put money aside as well because June 6th, I believe, is when Amazon stock split will be available, and I'm trying to get me a piece of Amazon. So those are two other ways that I'm paying myself first as well. A little bit time consuming up front, money up front, but it's an investment. It'll work out. So that's another way I pay myself first. And also keep in mind, when you pay yourself first, there's no set amount that you have to have. Like, you still have to have a living for yourself. So I wouldn't recommend just putting half of your paycheck, into that savings. I mean, if you can afford to do that, most definitely do that. If you are interested in taking a bigger risk, do that, but just make sure that you do what's comfortable for you at that time and something that you can live with. Me personally, I don't take too much money from my paychecks to go ahead and invest, just because I know it is a long-term type of ordeal. I do want to start investing sooner rather than later, which is a part of my Q2 goals. So I just do what I can comfortably. And then also, the way that I have my my checking account set up, the first of every month, money will automatically go from my checking into my savings. So that's another way that I'm helping pay myself first to go towards those investments, as far as the index funds, mutual funds, and a Roth IRA. Another way that I do want to start to pay myself first in a manner of getting into backdrops as well, just to try to expand that area of the business, and just go ahead and start doing backdrops as well, or creating more backdrops. And eventually I know I want to make my own, so I'll have to start investing in tools or other materials and everything like that. So when that time comes, when I get paid, I'll just allocate some of those funds instantly to that task or to that craft or that project. So the third thing that I started doing this year is actually now passive income. So this is the first stream of passive income where I'm actually, well, let me not say the first, but the first one where, I actually had to decide to take action and get out of my own head and start to do it. I had to get comfortable with the fact that I decided that once I start this YouTube channel, I was gonna be as transparent as I possibly could be. And for anyone that knows me, if anyone that actually knows me is watching, you guys know that I'm super extroverted, but I'm a huge introvert. I'm super private, and I don't really just let all my business and self out there. So this is going to be another part of this great journey for me. So not only for passive income, but for taking action, putting myself out there. Beginning of the year, when I started to find out and learn just about different streams of income, passive income, earned income, just those different type of variables, I learned that YouTube is the biggest platform for, well, one of the biggest platforms for passive income. It's also a great place to set a great foundation. So I mix that with taking action for passive income, and bam, here I am. The biggest thing for me also is just making sure that while I'm doing this, I'm able to add quality to you guys, because I feel like I've learned a lot over the past few months. And then I also have knowledge in the fitness industry. I have a lot to share. I want to help. So I feel like this is the best way for me to be able to, one, get my passive income, two, help, and then three, be able to just create a community, share, laugh, just document this progress, this process, and, just let you guys in. And, so number three, passive income and taking action. So the fourth, The fourth thing. The fourth thing that I decided to do this year was holding myself accountable. And when I say that, I mean to deadlines, to tasks, and to my business, okay? And to the ACM brand. I would meet deadlines because, like, they're important. You have to. Or, in my industry, like, you either get fired or you fail an exam if you don't meet a deadline. So I definitely make sure that I met the deadlines. However, now I make sure that I set my own, no matter what it is. So if I have to take the trash out, and I'm just sitting there, scrolling Instagram, or if I'm reading, it's 3 o'clock. Okay, I'll take it out at 3:10. Let me get 10 more minutes in of reading. If I have to go, to the grocery store, let me I'm gonna leave out at 4:30. I make sure that I leave out at 4:30. I think that this little habit that I'm building out of these tasks, out of these small tasks, will put me into the habit, and I'll get used to that for when the bigger things do come. So I just want to set a good foundation and then just build off of that. That's how I basically look at holding myself accountable to deadlines and to tasks, and then also holding myself accountable to my business and to my brand. Because honestly, for a long time, like, I wanted to do the entrepreneur thing, and but psych myself out and be too much in here. But when I started to think about it, I clock in for somebody else and I help their business. So why am I not paying, like, worrying about my own business? So once I started to, like, put myself in that headspace and think about that, like, duh, I'm gonna hold myself accountable to that. It ultimately came down to, what kind of business that I want, what kind of, CEO do I want to be? Or do I even want to be one? Because if I'm not going to hold myself accountable, is that really taking action to be one? No. So definitely start to implement this in your life if this is, a route that you want to take, if entrepreneurship or business is, for you. Or even if that's not, your end all goal to own a business or be an entrepreneur, or to be a manager or a leader, this is still something you can just implement in your daily life to help you. So the fifth thing the fifth thing the fifth thing that I decided to start implementing was daily to-do list. Ooh, baby. Now this has changed a lot for me. And when I say that, I mean, like, it literally has changed the trajectory of my days. I'll do my to-do list the night before. I realize that when I do it the night before, I don't want to say, like, it's, like, laid out a little better, just because I don't prioritize it by most urgent to least urgent, or most important to least important. It just helped the day just flow a lot better. They also set the intention for my day. I know, from the night before, what it is that I have to do, what it is that I have to look forward to doing, and I know already what I have to get done. So I'm kind of already in that mindset, or like that kind of preparedness before the next day even comes. On my to-do list, I'll just kind of, like, ask myself questions like, what does the ACM brand need? What is something that I can work on to grow? And, like, what did I not complete today that can be carried over tomorrow? I always try to make room, or I always make room on my daily to-do list for some type of growth. Like, what am I interested in learning? I know that I want to learn more about investing into index and mutual funds. I want to learn a little bit more about Forex and crypto, so I definitely make sure that I take time to learn those things. As stated, on my daily to-do list, it's not listed from least to most important or anything like that. But as long as I have it written down and I know what I have to do, there's never a moment where I should be sitting around like, I don't have anything to do, or what, because it's already set from the day before. This year I started planning my workouts. I try to do it a week at a time, so that way I know what I'm doing. It's already planned out. So that way it's basically like a workout plan, kind of. So on my daily to-do list, I'll just go ahead and have Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, Thursday, or like a push-pull day, a calisthenics day, which is, by the way, body weight. Or just make sure that I have the physical, my workout part incorporated somewhere in my daily to-do list. Now, granted, if the workout is already done for a week or 2 weeks out, obviously I'm not going to put it on there, just because, like, I already have that. But it doesn't mean that before those 2 weeks are up, or however long the plan goes out to, or the workouts go out to, that doesn't mean that I won't start, just writing more and adding on to the end of that. So just trying to keep up the pace and not procrastinate. So the sixth thing that I decided to start implementing, it's actually 6 on my list, but it's like kind of one of the first. I thought it was major. Is quarterly planning. So this has helped me actually set my business plan. I will have another video where I go into the importance of a business plan, just because like, whoo, baby, it's a lot. But with that, this has helped me set my business plan and like, just map it out. Quarterly planning has been amazing. It has been a huge asset to me simply because I'm able to map out, every goal that I have at least for that quarter. And, some of them, require a little extra effort than some, and some of them just require me to just, do my own, not my own little thing, but some things that just should be a little natural, and just little things that I can work on without having to put too much effort into it. So I'm just gonna pop my glasses on really quick. I'm not wearing them in the video because that is very distracting to me. So I'm just gonna swing this way really quick. So when I say like little things, so for me, it's like continuing to read 3 books monthly. That's something that I've actually found like a huge interest in doing. So I'm continuing that. I feel like that, ooh, mecca. And talking to more people. Oh man. Now that's something that I know that I need to do a lot more of. Again, it's something small that I can work on and towards every day that doesn't require too much effort. A real estate license. Now that's going to require time that I'm going to have to invest into that. So I have 3 months to complete it. But if I don't get that completed within these 3 months, it's not the end of the world. I still have quarter 3 and quarter 4, to do those. At that point, it will move from a quarterly goal to an annual goal, so, but as long as I would get that done within the year of 2022, I would be totally content with that. Starting an LLC or an S Corp, two little things. Well, I don't want to say 2 little things, but it would be one or the other, but something that I would invest, more money in than time, but something that's not really time consuming. Towards a summer shred plan, that's like actually very time consuming, just as far as, actually writing it out, and then actually testing it out. Is it sustainable? Does it work? Will it work? Who will it work on? Who's the workout safe for? So, but quarterly planning has given me a lot of perspective. It's given me a lot of thought. And it's definitely helped set my business plan and goals. A business plan is super crucial. It's very important. And before I did this, I'll be totally honest. I did not have a business plan. I had no idea how to write one or anything like that. So definitely start quarterly planning. And I will say it started to rub off on my boyfriend. So I think that, quarterly planning, it does have benefits. These are 6 things that I implemented in my life starting in 2022. I just decided, step 3, the action/passive income, that just came, in quarter 2. So with that being said, thank you all for, checking it out. I really hope you all, hang in there, stay with me, and, just ride out this wave in this process with me. And let's just build organically, So all of these little habits that I've started to do in 2022, I feel has set a great foundation for me. It has also allowed me to have clearer idea plans, also given me new ways of thinking, and how to make that money. This has allowed me to accomplish some goals in quarter 1. Any goals that I was not able to accomplish in quarter 1 definitely moved over to quarter 2. And it's given me realistic goals that I can strive for. And it's let me know that I don't have to be hard on myself. Thank you guys for hanging in for my first video. I hope you guys found any of this information, or at least some part of this information, or anything from this video informational or helpful. Really appreciate you guys. Please subscribe if you like this. Comment, like, connect with me on social media, and comment if you have any ideas, anything else you want to see. I will try my best to only talk about things as I'm actually doing them, so I can speak from experience. So see you, friends.